Hello, what's up everybody? It's Curtis again. Welcome back to Informed Tourist AI. You know how it is, we're always chasing those California dreams, right? Sun, surf, good vibes. But what if I told you there's a flip side to that postcard? Today we're diving deep into the underbelly of the Golden State, exposing the towns that are more likely to give you nightmares than Hollywood endings. We're talking about the places where the beaches are overshadowed by crime scenes, and the only thing lit is the arson rate. Buckle up, because we're about to take a wild ride through the top 8 worst towns to visit in California. Trust me, you'll want to stick around to the very end. Number 1 is gonna blow your mind. Let's do this. Alright, kicking off our list at number 8, we've got Oxnard. Yeah, you heard that right. Oxnard. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oxnard, California? What's so bad about a name like that? Well, my friends, let me tell you. The reality on the ground is a far cry from the sunny disposition the name might suggest. See, Oxnard's got this nasty habit of chewing up those California dreams and spitting them right back out. First off, finding a job in Oxnard is about as easy as finding a parking spot in downtown LA on a Friday night. The employment growth is slower than a snail on vacation. And the wages? Let's just say you'll be working 3 jobs just to afford a 1-bedroom apartment. And speaking of apartments, good luck finding one that doesn't require you to sign a pact with the local crime lord. The crime rate in Oxnard is higher than a kite on a windy day, and we're not just talking about petty theft here. We're talking assault, robbery, the works. Look, I'm all for giving places the benefit of the doubt, but Oxnard just screams wrong turn. It's the kind of place where you can practically feel the despair hanging in the air like a thick fog that never seems to lift. If you're looking for that quintessential California experience, do yourself a favor and keep on driving. Trust me, your sanity will thank you. Coming in at number 7 on our list of California's finest, or should I say, least worst, is San Bernardino. This city, my friends, is a textbook example of how quickly things can go south in the Golden State. Now, San Bernardino wasn't always a complete dumpster fire. It used to be a thriving hub for the citrus industry, a place where families could put down roots and build a good life. But those days are long gone, my friends. Today, San Bernardino is plagued by a crime rate that's enough to make even the bravest soul think twice. We're talking 79% higher than the national average, folks. And it's not just your run-of-the-mill property crime either. Violent crime in San Bernardino has skyrocketed in recent years, up a staggering 39%. That means you're more likely to get mugged walking down the street than you are to find a decent cup of coffee. Families are fleeing San Bernardino like rats from a sinking ship, and it's not hard to see why. The schools are struggling, the streets are dangerous, and the sense of community that once defined this city has all but vanished. It's a sad state of affairs, really. San Bernardino is a stark reminder that even in a state as prosperous as California, there are pockets of despair that are all too easy to fall into. Alright, let's talk about Commerce, California, coming in at number 6 on our list. Now, the name might sound promising, right? Commerce, like bustling businesses, opportunity, the American dream, and all that jazz. But hold your horses, folks, because Commerce is about as far from a thriving economic hub as you can get. In fact, it's more like no commerce, if you ask me. First of all, let's talk about the elephant in the room, poverty. Commerce has a poverty rate of almost 15%, which is higher than the national average. And when I say poverty, I'm not talking about struggling artists trying to make it big. I'm talking about families struggling to put food on the table, struggling to keep a roof over their heads. The median household income in Commerce is a measly $58,000, which might sound like a lot, but trust me, it's not nearly enough to live comfortably in California. And let's not forget about the quality of life, or lack thereof. Niche, the website that ranks everything from schools to neighborhoods, gave Commerce a big fat C- when it comes to families. That's right, a C-. Not exactly the kind of place you want to raise your kids, right? Look, I'm all for giving credit where credit is due, but Commerce just doesn't have much going for it. It's a town plagued by poverty, crime, and a general lack of opportunity. Chapter 4. Emeryville, small town, big crime number 5 on our list of places you might want to avoid in California is Emeryville. And let me tell you, this one's a real head-scratcher. See, Emeryville is tiny. We're talking a population smaller than some high schools, clocking in at just under 13,000 people. You'd think a place that small would be, safe. Quaint even. But nope, Emeryville throws a serious curveball when it comes to safety. In fact, in 2022, it earned the dubious honor of being crowned the most dangerous city in all of California. Yeah, you heard that right. This little town packs a serious punch when it comes to crime. We're talking over 12,500 incidents of theft in a single year. That's almost every man, woman, and child in Emeryville getting their pockets picked. And it's not just petty theft either. Emeryville saw a whopping 800 violent crimes that same year. So, what's the deal with this place? How does a town this small become a hotbed for crime? Well, it's a perfect storm of factors, really. You've got a struggling economy, high unemployment, and a lack of opportunity, all crammed into a very small space. It's a recipe for disaster, and unfortunately, it seems like Emeryville is stuck in a vicious cycle. It's a shame, really, because the town itself has potential. But until they get a handle on the crime situation, it's best to just steer clear. Chapter 5: Oakland, from boomtown to bust. Alright, we're halfway through our list of California's least desirable destinations, and coming in at number 4 is a city that probably needs no introduction: Oakland. Yeah, Oakland. The city across the bay from the supposed tech utopia of San Francisco. Now, Oakland has a rich history. It was a boomtown during World War II, a hub for industry and innovation. But somewhere along the way, things took a turn. The factories closed, the jobs disappeared, and Oakland was left reeling. Today, Oakland is grappling with a whole host of problems, but none more pressing than crime. WalletHub, the personal finance website, recently ranked Oakland as the 8th most dangerous city in the entire United States. 8th! Let that sink in for a minute. We're not talking about some sleepy little town in the middle of nowhere. We're talking about Oakland, California, a major metropolitan area. And it's not just the violent crime that's a concern, although there's plenty of that to go around. Oakland also scored abysmally low in community safety and natural disaster preparedness. So, what's the takeaway here? Well, it's simple. Oakland is a city in crisis. It's a place where the gap between the haves and the have-nots is vast and growing wider by the day. It's a city where the promise of California seems like a distant memory, a cruel joke. And until Oakland addresses its deep-seated issues, it's going to remain a place that people are more likely to warn you about than recommend. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to dive into the deep end with number 3 on our list: Stockton, California. This city, my friends, is a cautionary tale of epic proportions. See, Stockton was once a thriving agricultural center, a place where farmers brought their bounty and families prospered. But then, the tides turned. The agricultural industry took a hit, jobs disappeared, and Stockton found itself in a downward spiral. And then came the knockout punch. In 2012, Stockton became the largest city in U.S. history to declare bankruptcy. Bankruptcy. That's right, folks, this city was so deep in the red that it had to wave the white flag. But here's the kicker. Stockton still hasn't fully recovered. The city is still grappling with high unemployment, rampant poverty, and a crime rate that would make your hair stand on end. We're talking a violent crime rate of 12.6 per 1,000 people. That means you have a 1 in 79 chance of being a victim of violent crime in Stockton. Those are some seriously scary odds. And the property crime rate is nothing to scoff at either. Over 2,000 incidents were reported in 2021 alone. That's like having your car broken into every other week. Look, I'm all for rooting for the underdog, but Stockton is one underdog that seems to be stuck in a perpetual losing streak. Alright, we're down to the wire, folks. Number 2 on our list of California's least lovable locales is none other than Modesto. Now, Modesto might sound like a charming Italian town, but let me assure you, it's about as far from charming as you can get. In fact, Modesto might be a more fitting name because this city is downright annoying. And by annoying, I mean dangerous. Back in 2021, Modesto's crime rate was already a whopping 37% higher than the national average. But, hold on to your hats, folks, because it's only gotten worse since then. Experts estimate that Modesto's crime rate has now doubled the national average. Doubled! That's like playing Russian roulette with all but one chamber loaded. But wait, there's more! Modesto also holds the prestigious title of having one of the highest car theft rates in the entire state. In 2020 alone, over 2,000 cars were stolen in Modesto. That's almost 390 car thefts per 1,000 people. So what's the deal with Modesto? Why is it such a magnet for crime? Well, it's a combination of factors, really. You've got a struggling economy, high unemployment, and a general sense of hopelessness that permeates the city. It's a toxic mix, and unfortunately it seems like Modesto is stuck in a downward spiral. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. The #1 spot on our list of California's worst towns to visit goes to, drumroll please, Mendota. Yeah, Mendota. This town, my friends, is the embodiment of everything that can go wrong in the Golden State. It's a place where poverty reigns supreme, opportunity is non-existent, and the future looks bleak to say the least. Let's start with the elephant in the room, shall we? Mendota has a poverty rate of 37.5%. That's right, folks. Over a third of the town's residents live below the poverty line, and the median household income? A paltry $38,000. That's less than half the national median. It's no wonder that Mendota is considered one of the poorest towns in all of California. But poverty is just the tip of the iceberg. Mendota is also plagued by high unemployment, limited job opportunities, and a school system that's struggling to stay afloat. In fact, a staggering 97% of students in Mendota come from economically disadvantaged families. Let that sink in for a minute. Almost every single child in this town is growing up in poverty. It's a heartbreaking reality, and it's a stark reminder that even in a state as wealthy as California, there are pockets of despair that are all too easy to fall into. So, there you have it, folks. The top 8 worst towns to visit in California. I know, it's enough to make you want to pack your bags and move to Canada. But hey, at least now you're informed, right? And that's what Informed Tourist AI is all about. Giving you the real deal, even when it's not pretty. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching. Informed Tourist AI, please hit the like button and subscribe for more insider info on unique places and travel tips. Now check out one of these videos and stay safe out there.